Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Boland of Boland Small Engine, and today guys I want to talk to you about an issue, a very rare issue, but an issue nonetheless, that some of the Stihl FS 45, 55, and 55R are actually having, okay? As I said, it is rare, but it's still an issue that needs to be addressed. I recently had a YouTuber ask me what could potentially be his problem with his weed eater, as he has replaced just about every part on it, and it still doesn't run any better than the day that it had its failure. Now guys, I want to tell you guys that I personally know with experience what this guy is going through. It sucks. Okay, as a service tech, I've run into it too. So trust me, you want to be very attentive to this video, as you yourself may be faced with this problem in the future if you own a 45, 55, or 55R trimmer. What the issue is, guys, is the crankshafts. Now I know that sounds ridiculous, but the crankshafts actually get warped as well as the connecting rods in them. And I'm going to show that here momentarily. The only reason that I'm actually able to show this is because, ironically enough, after I had answered my YouTuber named Larry Donnell, ironically enough, I receive a trimmer that has the exact same type of problem, where the guy had put in all kinds of money and it wouldn't work, okay? And he'd had it to 2 or 3 shops before he brought it to me, and they basically told him, hey, you know, I can't fix it. In truth, they just really didn't want to, but that's beside the point. But as I said, guys, that's the reason that I actually even have the parts to be able to show. So think of it as a kind blessing, if you will, especially for Larry, who this video may potentially help. Now, the customer that brought the crankshaft to me, his name was Joshua Spears, and really nice guy. He'd just been put through hell because these guys took advantage of him. They put new seals in, they basically tore it down, but they didn't even pay attention to what the crankshaft looked like. I never ever heard of anything so stupid in all my life, but they did. They actually put new seals in and sealed it back up. I mean, it's crazy, but still, be as it may, you know, the issue is what the issue is, and I'm going to be able to show you guys, as basically I had to put another crankshaft in his trimmer. And I note it was a used crankshaft because I didn't want to just, you know, rob the guy, because if he had to buy a new crankshaft, it would have exceeded the price of the trimmer. But still, the last shop that he had it at, who actually put the seals in, they should have caught this issue and actually addressed it rather than be greedy, alright, and sell him a bunch of parts. But nonetheless, as I say, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and show you guys the crankshaft that my customer brought me, who was Joshua, and be able to show you a comparison crankshaft and what it should look like, okay? I apologize for the rain and the snoring pugs in the background, guys. As I've said many times, this is their little dwelling, if you will. Alright. This is the crankshaft that Joshua brought to me in his trimmer. And if you look, you're going to see that although the counterweights look okay as far as being straight, they're actually in more than what they should be, okay? And there's actually warpage in the crankshaft itself. And that's going to be very difficult to see, but I'm going to try to turn it and you'll be able to see for yourself. You can actually see some of the warpage in the crankshaft. Now, not only did this crankshaft get warped, guys, but the connecting rod did as well when this engine came to a very sudden stop because it got hung up. And like I said, a fence or barbed wire, you know, basically whatever it got hung up in, that's what caused this issue. But as I said, you know, this issue was passed over by a dealer and a service tech, which just amazed me, because I mean, I know people are desperate to make a dollar, but my God, to screw somebody over that bad, it's just sinfully shameful. I mean, seriously, this guy bought over $200 worth of parts to try to fix this trimmer. I mean, he could have easily bought a new trimmer for the price that he got invested in the trimmer that I fixed. And I didn't even charge him for the crankshaft once I knew what the problem was. And I note that he's very, very happy with the trimmer now that I fixed it. And he's definitely going back to this shop and give them 9 kinds of hell, I can tell you that. Because they basically just throwed parts on the trimmer and screwed him over. Parts, might I mind you, that he didn't need. But anyway, let's get back into this video, guys. As you can see, the crankshaft is actually, or I'm sorry, the connecting rod is actually warped and off to the side. If you look, I'll try to hold it straight, and you can see that it actually comes over and kind of bends over like this. And you can see that the bearings are even somewhat shifted in it. Now, obviously, you know that's not the way that this crankshaft should be. And you're going to be able to see that here momentarily when I grab this other crankshaft. That is actually the way that it should be. Now if you look at the counterweights, you'll see that they're actually closer than what they should be. And like I said, the dealers should have saw this. I mean, it's beyond obvious. When I saw it, I knew immediately what his problem was. But here's what the crankshaft should look like. Now, I apologize for having all this extra junk on here, guys. This is just one that I got gave to me, and I haven't cannibalized it yet. But as you can see, the connecting rod is perfectly straight. As you can see, the bearings are good back here. I always do this so I can inspect the bearings and make sure that the bearings are okay on the crankshaft itself. And as you can clearly see, they're in excellent shape. There's no issue there at all. But you can see that this connecting rod is perfectly straight. There's absolutely no issues with this connecting rod. And that's as it should be. And if you look, you'll actually even see that there's a much wider gap in this crankshaft than what there was in the other. And I'll be able to hold them up as a comparison. Same crankshaft, but you can see this one, see, it's slightly smaller because of the warpage. So that was what I was trying to address in this video. And as you can clearly also see, the connecting rods, I'll put them side by side, and maybe you can see the warpage on this one compared to this one. You can actually see the difference. So that's the issue, guys, you're going to run into if you hang your 45, 55, or 55R trimmer in a barbed wire fence, electric fence if you will, any fence really for that matter. I've even seen this happen due to the fact that people were weed eating in very heavy vegetation, if you will, and that also will cause this issue. I really hope that this video helps a fellow YouTuber, as I said, that I'm actually making it for, as I know that, you know, he may have potentially thought that I was full of crap, because in all honesty you would expect a crankshaft to be of pretty solid quality and not warp, okay? But as you clearly seen, this is an issue. It does happen. It's very rare, and for the people that actually encounter this issue, it is a miserable experience, because they are investing all kinds of money into their trimmer, and what they're getting back, it's just basically junk, okay? Until next time, YouTube.